The sky may be a little bit hazy, but it's still a good day to go out exploring.
Welcome in. My name's Chris, and today, I'm starting this adventure at Daniels Park. So why don't you come along and let's see what we can see. I kind of wanted to do something a little bit simple and outdoors, just to kind of test my knee out. For those of you who have been watching, I do have a little issue with my knee. A little bone is kind of floating around in my kneecap, making it very difficult to walk. I do have some doctor's appointments coming up to kind of take a look at it. Hopefully I can get it solved fairly soon. I'm trying to slow down a little bit and stay active at the same time. It's kind of a difficult balance. But how can I fully slow down when views like this exist? I actually came out here today because I read that there were bison in the area. I'm not sure if those are them. I'm at quite a distance away, so I can't really tell. There is a nice green golf course that stands out amongst all of the dryness out here in the mountains these days. Unlike some reports, no, half the state is not on fire. There are quite a few fires, however, and some of them are fairly destructive, so, please make sure the area you're going to is safe before you go. And also make sure you take as many precautions as you can to make sure you don't start any fires yourself. In fact, some of the towns near some of the bigger fires have been on social media reminding people that their towns are still safe, and that, their economies are run by tourists. So please make sure you visit. All right, now I'm going to get back in the car because there is a school group at this stop. And let's go ahead and move on to the next one. That last place was the Daniels Park Overlook. Let's see what this place is. I might go back there on my way. I just want to let that school group clear out first. I also found a few other little overlooks and stops along my way up here that I'm probably going to stop at. And we're not entirely secluded up here, but it is quite beautiful. I was going to say watch out for snakes, but I guess spiders are a problem as well. Either way, watch out for wildlife. Now, unfortunately, this little trail seems to just lead back to the road. Or does it? Hold on. Oh, maybe it does go on. Apparently, instead, it goes under the road. So I guess I was close. Might as well see where this goes for a little bit. I'm in an exploring kind of mood. Now that said, I'm at a crossroads. Let's take the low road. Even if it might not be the best place to test out my knee. But we can walk a little bit up it, right? As we travel alongside a barbed wire fence. Yep, nothing quite like barbed wire to scream out, this is nature. I do hope we get some rain soon. It's been fairly dry. And I also hope I remember how to find my way back to the car. It shouldn't be too far back from here, but I still kind of want to wander. I really do love the fact that there's all this natural space so close to so many of the cities. You know, at least in this area. I don't think I'm going to keep on following this trail. I mean, it does keep on going all the way back to where I was, but yeah, this school bus is still up there, so I think I'm just going to go back to the car and drive past where I started and head to a different spot. Yeah, my knee may be doing well for the moment, but yeah, there's no guarantee it'll keep going like that. Yeah, that little bone fragment floating around is kind of unpredictable. On any given step, my knee could just give out in pain. You know, not to mention the fact that my water is in the car. I definitely do need to get a separate backpack so I could carry my water with me. My work backpack is just always full and I don't want to repack it. I do like the landscape here, however. Yeah, this stop had a beautiful view, even if it's not so secluded. Well, let's see what the next stop has to offer. And let's see if it has more of these Epcot trash cans. Well, I happened upon a bison overlook, but I don't see any bison. And I'm pretty sure that they do come around here. At least that's what the sign says. But, unfortunately, this little prairie does seem to be empty. By the way, fun fact, they are bison, not buffalo. Buffalo don't exist on this continent. Yeah, buffalo only exists in Africa and Asia. Out here, it is bison. But right now, the only action in this area are humans. Along with a bit of wind. So I think I'm gonna travel back up the road to the next little pull-off spot. And maybe there will be fewer million-dollar mansions overlooking it. Oh, wow. Looks like those school kids are getting back in their bus. Maybe I'll go back there real quick. Yeah, but before I do, I passed by another little overlook that's only on one side of the road, so I should hit it before I have to make a U-turn. Yeah, this one's called the Pikes Peak Overlook. Yeah, I couldn't pass that one up. Although I'm not sure if you could actually see Pikes Peak from here. I mean, there are definitely some mountains out there. Wait, I take it back. I think I do see it out there in the distance. It's just kind of hard to make out. A little bit hazy from all the fires. You know, at least I think it's out there. According to maps, it was straight ahead. But again, I've never really seen it from this angle, and there's a lot of haze. One of these days, however, I will go up there. Yeah, but now I wanted to come back to the place where we first started just to check out a few more details. Because I really couldn't check out the park map just yet. And apparently, well, there we are. Based on this, there is a southeast bison pasture, a northeast bison pasture, and a west bison pasture. I'm thinking I saw them out in the west. Yeah, at least if that was them. And here's a closer look at where the park is. It's, well, pretty close to Castle Rock and Littleton, just outside of Highlands Ranch. And if you want to know more about the stewardship and education opportunities with the bison, well, here's a QR code. Mostly I wanted to come back up this way to see what all of this was. This is where all the school kids were hanging out. So I kind of missed it the first time. Apparently there's quite a few plants here, and if you want to know more, here's a QR code. Oh, these are medicinal plants. Very interesting. Yeah, this one's called a purple prairie clover. I kind of wish they had the names out here. I'm not going to go back and forth from the wheel just to, give you all the names, but I do want to take a little walk around and check them all out, because this seems to be one of the most watered areas out here. Well, there are a few signs out here. Just doesn't tell us exactly which plant is which from the exact location. But even if I don't know what they are, I still like looking at them. And I like finding out what some of them were used for. Especially the ones that are my favorite color. Now, I do wish I had checked out the picnic structure behind me when I had the chance. A couple picnickers just went in there. I'm not going to disturb them. I at least wanted to see it from this side. Yeah, this is a lovely little spot, but I think there's a few more places to stop along the way. Let's go check them out. And the next place along the trail is called Long's Peak Overlook. Yeah, as you can see, the road here is a little bit active, but not really too much. In fact, most times it's quite quiet. I'm not going to spend too much time here. The overlook seems a little bit small. Let's check it out. Well, it looks like it overlooks a cabin and a barn. Oh wow, I could actually see the skyline of downtown Denver way off in the distance. Aside from the occasional car, it's fairly quiet out here. And it's such a beautiful view. And I think I still have maybe one or two more spots to stop at while I'm out here. Then I'll probably wrap this video up over at Breckenridge Brewery. And here is that last stop at the Florence Martin Trailhead. And now we have made it to here. And as you can see, it's the last stop before we exit the park. And technically speaking, I think we went to all of these. So I may not have walked the entirety of the trail today, but at least I drove it. But before I could say that, I do have to walk a little bit of it. Oh look, there's something. So apparently, this is Florence Martin. She's an Australian who gave us this park. Now, as far as the Daniels family, they erected the Daniels and Fisher department store, the only surviving part of which is that clock tower. Daniels and Martin met back in the early 1900s. Apparently, they did do a bit of exploring together. And both Daniels and her husband left their properties to Florence Martin when they died. And she donated much of the property way back in the 1920s. Apparently, the barn is a restoration. Unfortunately, it looks like it's closed off at the moment. I do see a holiday wreath up there, so who knows, maybe they do open it up at some point during the year, but not today. Yeah, today this is about the closest I can get to it. There does seem to be a little trail. It just pretty much leads to the fence. I'm not going to bother taking it. There does appear to be another human-made structure out there. Probably someplace for the bison to get some water or food. Yeah, but that really is just a guess. But I think on that note, it's probably time to head back down and go finish off with a beer. Because unfortunately, well, this is the only trace of the bison today. At least up here. Yeah, I'll have to check in post to see if those were actually the buffalo I caught earlier. But I do know that they are out there somewhere. And, wow. Just imagine having bison in your backyard. Now let's head back on up the road, I guess. And, well, over to, somewhere over here. To Breckenridge Brewery, where England just lost. Yeah, I decided to stop down here to wrap up the video, have a quick beer, and, well, go see the construction real quick.
As far as the beer, I got myself a Palisade Peach, and there was a nice little bug right next to it. Yeah, I got here right as the game was ending, and, well, the place pretty much had already cleared out. There was 2 people at 2 tables, and, well, at this point, even they are gone. It's just me. Yeah, but that's alright. It's a little bit more relaxing this way.
I could simply enjoy the music, the breeze, and the clouds off in the distance.
Yeah, by the time this video posts, I will have had my MRI on my knee, so I'll probably know a little bit more, but I won't have seen my specialist yet. Not until after next week's video. Which is why it's possible I'll take next week off. Just to be extra safe with my leg. Yeah, I still don't know what any of the treatments will entail, so I kind of do want to be a little bit easy on it. But let me go ahead and take that last walk and start wrapping up this video. By the way, this is not an ad, but Arby's for the win.
Yeah, before I went home, I just wanted to take a look at some of the construction here. Apparently we do have a new mountain range. Let's see, I'm going to call the big one over there, we're at the Reynolds Landing, let's call that Reynolds Mountain. I have no idea what to call the 2 smaller ones behind it. Okay, I get how you close a trail, but how do you close a river? There's the future bridge and the future entryway. There's a quick reminder on the sign as to what it's supposed to look like when it's done. And of course, here's a little bit more, including, you guessed it, a QR code. Okay, now, which way is the tour? Do they have a tram? Okay, this is just too beautiful not to show. And does anybody else have the sudden desire to go down a slide? Or is it just the beers talking? There are a few of the workers taking a small break. I'm gonna walk up this way and see what's up this path. Well, maybe that's what they meant by the river is closed. Part of it is actually closed off. It looks like it's been for a little bit. I really can't wait to see what it looks like when it's finished. Of course, I say that every time I'm here. These workers appear to be polishing up the rocks. And I have no idea what those bundles are for over there. It does look like the construction is coming along nicely, however. But seeing as how we've come across another lush green golf course, I think it's time to start wrapping this video up. Yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, all that other fun YouTube stuff. And because I don't know if I'll have a video for the next week or two, make sure to definitely press that bell notification. Yeah, I felt like I was doing all right until the last few minutes now. Yeah, it's kind of iffy, so we'll see how my knee goes. And also, please make sure you're a little extra kind to each other. World is a tough place lately, and we could definitely all use it. Yeah, and make sure you try to get out and explore as much as you can. There's a great big beautiful world out there. And always make sure to stop and take a look at the little things. You never know what you're going to find. So until next time, good night everyone.